Hey guys, welcome to my full review for the LG G4. I've been using the device as my daily driver for the past week or so, and yeah, my experience has been good. I'm using the 32GB variant with the plastic silver back, but don't forget LG do offer a leather option with a variety of different colors, so you can always customize the look and feel of the device, which isn't always something you see on smartphones anymore, so it's good to have that choice. But yeah, let's dive into the full review here. So first off, we're going to talk about the look and feel, and from the front we have a pretty standard slab design, quite thin bezels flanking the left and right of the screen, but we do have a little bit of a chin, i.e. a bigger bezel on the bottom that houses the LG logo. Personally, I'd have preferred they shrink this down a little, especially seeing as we have those on-screen buttons to play with. On the bottom we have the headphone jack and your micro USB port, which does include a slim port for display mirroring. On the left it's completely smooth, we have no buttons on the left or the right hand side. And on the lower right hand side you'll notice a little gap that you can use to remove the back cover. But in terms of your volume controls and power button, they are situated on the back just under the camera sensor. We've seen this before from LG of course, and you'd think this would take some getting used to, but in all honesty it took about 5 minutes, and then I started to really like the placement. It was just natural, your index finger just kind of sits there. And because of this design choice, I actually found it a little bit more comfortable to hold. You can grip the sides of the device without that annoyance of hitting any volume keys or power buttons. There is a slight curve to the G4 as well, not as drastic as the G Flex, but LG says even this slight curve makes it more durable and more comfortable to hold and use while in a call. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm using the silver plastic back variant, and while that makes it light, you do lose that solid premium feel that you get with devices like the Galaxy S6 and the iPhone 6 with their metal designs. Now, of course, the leather option may well help there, and in fact, I'm pretty sure it will, but I can only review what's in front of me right now. Also, the fact that the back cover is removable is a negative in that premium feel area. It doesn't quite feel as solid as my Nexus 6, for example. Having said all that, a lot of people will be willing to trade that premium feel when they see the advantage to a removable back cover. Yes, you can customize your device with different colors and materials, but more importantly, if we go ahead and remove the back cover right now, this gives you access to the removable 3000 mAh battery, so you can carry a spare with you, or if your battery becomes old and faulty later on, you can just go ahead and change it out. And also a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. A lot of people were upset that Samsung removed both these options from the Galaxy S6, but the LG G4 is a flagship device that keeps both these options, so yeah, it's down to personal preference. So moving on to the display, the G4 has a 5.5 inch Quantum IPS Quad HD display. Now that's quite a mouthful, but what it equals is just an awesome screen, one of the best I've used on any smartphone to date. It has a pixel density of 538, so everything is uber sharp, a contrast ratio that's 50% higher than conventional LCD panels, and it has a 20% wider color range than its competitors. But honestly, it's just a really nice screen to look at. The colors are very vibrant, they don't suffer from that oversaturated look you sometimes get on AMOLED displays. Sure, the black levels can't quite match AMOLED due to the differences in the screen technology, but black levels here are still very impressive. Brightness levels are good too. I tested this in high sunlight outdoor environments and could easily navigate around without too much squinting. In terms of the speaker placement, it's placed on the bottom left of the device, so it's actually quite easy to cover this while you're watching a movie or just looking at YouTube videos like I am right now, so you do have to be careful of that. That is quite annoying. It's never going to match front-facing speakers. It's loud, but it just doesn't give you that clarity that front-facing speakers do. So that's one negative of the speaker placement right there. But in terms of the screen, I really can't give it a negative. It's absolutely fantastic. You won't be disappointed with this display. Under the hood, we have a Snapdragon 808 processor accompanied by the 3GB of RAM for your multitasking needs. The Snapdragon 808 is a 6-core CPU using big. LITTLE technology, so 4 A53 cores for low power tasks up to 1.4 GHz, and then 2 faster A57 cores for heavy lifting up to 1.8 GHz, and the Adreno 418 GPU. And what all those numbers mean is it's just a very fast and smooth device. I've been super impressed with it actually. Whether the apps are in memory or not, it's quick. Scrolling in Twitter, as you can see, is super smooth. Even scrolling in apps like Facebook, which notoriously on Android aren't very good, you can see, are just very smooth on the LG G4. So it's been super impressive. If we scroll over to Geekbench here, it's got some pretty impressive single and multi-core scores, as you can see if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, you won't have a problem with performance on this device. It's very snappy throughout. I haven't even restarted the device in 3 or 4 days and it's still this snappy. If we go ahead and clear all of the recents, I'm going to open the camera app here and you'll just see how fast it is from the icon. LG also included a shortcut from the volume down key by double pressing it, and you can again see just how quick this device can launch the camera. So performance here has been exceptional. It has no problems pushing those Quad HD pixels around the screen smoothly. If you're wondering about gaming performance, I went ahead and tested GTA San Andreas on max settings. GTA is one of the most CPU and GPU intensive games to play on mobile, and I'm happy to say the G4 did very well. It's going to be an awesome phone for gaming. The Adreno 418 seems to handle GTA with absolutely no problems. It actually surprised me because sometimes GTA brings devices down to a crawl, but the Snapdragon 808 here seemed to have absolutely no issues. It played very smoothly. I could enjoy the game without worrying about, frame drops even in intense situations. So yeah, if you're heavily into mobile gaming, then the G4 is a device that you're definitely going to want to take a look at. Now, of course, LG have their own skinned version of Android, so things like the quick settings have a number of different toggles for quick access, including things like brightness and volume sliders. If we go ahead and dive into the settings here, we'll go to About Phone. We can see that we are currently on Android 5.1. But LG do include some pretty cool features that you don't get on stock Android from the get-go. For example, double tap to sleep and also double tap to wake. Two of my favorite features on pretty much any device that has them. We saw the camera shortcut previously when you double tap the volume down key to get quick access to your camera. That's very useful. And if we go ahead and dive into the multitasking window, you'll see a dual window option. So this only works for supported applications. For example, you can use it on Chrome and the Gallery app. You can play a video on half the screen and then you can browse the web on the other half the screen. Some people like that, some people don't like it. It's there if you want it. It seems to work pretty well for the short time that I used it. If we jump back into settings, LG included some Tasker-like features built straight into the OS. It's called Smart Settings, and you can see it uses your device location. You can change device profiles when you're at home. You can have it turn Bluetooth on when you're away from home. You can also have it open a specific music app of your choice when you plug in your headphones or when you connect to a specific Bluetooth device like your car Bluetooth or something like that. So I thought those two options were really cool. You have this smart cleaning section. Not really sure if this is useful, but it basically quickly allows you to delete temporary files or idle applications. The shortcut key menu allows you to actually change what different shortcuts on your volume keys you can have. So you can see I've got mine to open the camera, but you can actually customize that to open different applications if you want to. And you can also add certain buttons to your soft keys. For example, you can add a notification pull down to your soft keys so you can quickly access it without having to reach to the top if you have small hands. So again, a pretty neat feature. The G4 has a pretty special rear-facing camera. It's a 16 megapixel sensor with an f/1.8 aperture lens. That means more light coming in, faster shutter speeds and better low light performance. It also has laser autofocus for very fast focusing and a new color spectrum sensor which helps improve white balance for each shot you take. The camera app itself is also one of the best you can find on any smartphones. It has a few different modes: simple, auto and manual. Most people would just use automatic, that's just kind of point and shoot sort of stuff. But if you want a more advanced experience, you can flick over to the manual mode and you'll be greeted with a ton of different options here. You can change pretty much everything to suit exactly the shot you want to get. You can change the white balance, you can change the shutter speed, the ISO level. It brings up a bar on the right hand side that you can just scroll through and change it to exactly how you want to do. So if you're an advanced camera user, this app is going to be absolutely fantastic for you. You can even change the focus length as well as the exact white balance. So yeah, it's just perfect for that advanced camera user that wants more options than just point and shoot. And I nearly forgot to mention that yes, you can change the format to RAW. So if you want to do that, you can just press the icon on the left hand side. Be aware if you do that, the images will be massive when you shoot in RAW. So make sure you have an SD card installed. And yes, the G4 does allow for Ultra HD or 4K recording and slow-mo as well. So in terms of the actual quality, yeah, the G4 blew me away. It was absolutely fantastic. This shot, I just went outside, took it as quickly as possible, and you can just see how well it came out. That beautiful natural bokeh effect in the background. I didn't edit any of these. This is just how it came. The 16 megapixel sensor allows you to crop in, and you can see that the detail is retained. The colors are fantastic. It really did an excellent job in good lighting situations. And the great thing about this is it was just so easy to use. I went outside and just started taking shots. I didn't have to wait around trying to find good lighting or waiting for the focus. The laser focus was incredibly fast. The shutter was incredibly fast. It's just an excellent camera. It really is. There is one slight downside to it, and you can really only notice it when you zoom into a shot quite heavily, and this is basically LG's over sharpening software. If we look at that flower in the left hand side of the image right now, you can see that there is some over sharpening going on, which makes you lose a little bit of detail, but like I said, it's only really noticeable when you zoom in, and hopefully a camera software update can fix this or remedy this issue. But really, it's a small problem. When you're looking at these photos as is, they are fantastic. It's definitely one of the best cameras out there. Even low light shots, it did incredibly well. There's not a lot of noise going on here, and this was taken without the flash. This was taken at about 11 p.m. at night. It's incredibly dark here, and it just pulled in a lot of light. It still retained a lot of detail. The white balance was correct. It just took a really good shot at night. So the f/1.8 aperture lens is working well. It does slightly overexpose light sources, but again, you can kind of forgive it for that. It is a smartphone camera. The camera did take a slight bit longer to focus at nighttime, but honestly, it was still very quick, much faster than a lot of other devices I've tested in these harsh low light environments. I just think LG have done an exceptional job here. It stands up right with the Galaxy S6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. It may even surpass them. I guess it depends which person you ask, but it's definitely one of the very, very best smartphone cameras that you can get. And one of the things I noticed is a lot of smartphone cameras, the photos look great on the actual display, but when you put them over to your PC, they look a lot worse. But this wasn't the case with the LG G4. When I copied the photos over to my PC, they still looked excellent. I was actually in awe of just how good these looked. The footage you're seeing right now is 4K footage from the LG G4. Of course, it has been downscaled to 1080p because this review is in 1080p. But again, everything looks fantastic. The laser focus worked very well with focusing. It didn't have to focus hunt all the time, and it was also very, very quick. So yeah, 4K recording is excellent. Don't forget, 4K recording does take a lot of space, so you'll probably want to use an SD card slot to copy them over to that or to record them to that, because you're going to run out of space pretty quickly if you start doing a lot of 4K videos. And another thing I probably should have mentioned earlier is the camera does have optical image stabilization, so videos should be pretty smooth. That's also going to help you take shots in low light. It's actually optical image stabilization 2.0, so it stabilizes the images on 3 axes. Most camera phones actually do it on only 2 axes. So yeah, this is going to be better for low light shots in that respect, and also smoother video recording. So to conclude, guys, the LG G4 camera is just one of the best you can possibly get right now. It's an exceptional camera. It takes great shots in pretty much every scenario. In terms of the battery life, the G4 has a 3000 mAh battery, which is pretty beefy. Of course, it does have to push a Quad HD display, which is also very bright, so just take that into account. But I had no problems getting through the day. I believe mine lasted around about 15 to 16 hours with 4.5 to about 5 hours screen on time, depending on exactly what you're doing. If you're playing games and using the camera a lot, I noticed the battery drained quite a bit quicker, so just be aware of that. And of course, you do have a removable battery, so you can always carry a spare with you. If you're wondering about quick charge, that's kind of interesting. So originally LG said it didn't have quick charge, then they said it did. But in my experience, the G4 didn't charge as quickly as my Nexus 6 did with the same quick charge charger. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But again, you do have that removable battery option, so you can always just go ahead and switch out the battery if you have a spare one. But yeah, battery life in general seems to be decent. It's nothing outrageous or crazy special, but it should get you through the day with pretty moderate to heavy usage, so there's no problems there. So there you go, guys, that's my full review for the LG G4. I hope you enjoyed it. The things that really stand out for me about this device are definitely the screen and the camera really does stand out amongst the very best of any smartphone. You will love this camera. It's just one of those ones where you look at the shots and then you want to go back outside and start taking more shots, because it's just that simple, that easy, and they look that good. So yeah, they've done an excellent job with this device, LG. It's definitely worth your consideration if you're looking for a new device. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, peace out.